Can you talk about the injury to Josh Reeves, possibly what happened? It obviously didn't look like it happened during the exhibition at Lock Haven.
No, it did not. It happened in practice. We were just going up and down, loose ball. So he's going to be fine. He's going to be out for a little while here. We're seeing how it responds, but definitely out this first weekend through Tuesday, we believe. But we'll see. We'll see what our docs tell us. We'll see what our trainer, Saz, tells us, and we'll go from there. But I am not going to rush him back. That's why our depth comes into play right now, and guys got to step up. Terrence and Isaiah and Davis, and we should have Peyton back for the weekend. So next man up. The old Bill Belichick, next man up theory.
Peyton Banks will be playing in the against Auburn.
As of right now, it looks very good that he will be playing. We want to give him another day or two to see where he is, see how he feels, see how that hammy's doing, and that'll be a game time decision.
Will he be limited at all when he comes back?
I'm going to talk to Saz about that, our trainer. I talked to Peyton earlier today about maybe trying to keep him to some sort of minutes. But we'll see how the game goes, and we'll see how Peyton responds, and then we'll make our decision.
What's the idea behind playing so many games in such a tight window?
It's just so hard because of exams, and you're allowed 13 games in a non-con, and we want to make sure we get 13 games because we believe that we need it. We're going to need the preparation for the Big Ten. In a perfect world, you don't want it like this. You don't want to go Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, and then Saturday, Sunday against two high major teams. But, it's just how it kind of fell, and we want to test these guys early and see where we are, and hopefully we continue to get better.
How important is a Peyton Banks healthy for the rest of the season? I know you guys had your struggles three-point shooting in the exhibition. You expect that to get better, but how important is he from behind the three-point line for you guys?
Yeah, we miss at least 2 or 3 threes from Peyton because he can really stretch it. Obviously at the 3, he really helps us at the 4. It's a tremendous help because he can pick and pop now. Which makes us that much more difficult to defend. So to have him back is going to create more space for our point guards and our guards to get downhill and make plays for others. So we're looking forward to having a healthy Peyton, and hopefully he can compete on Friday.
Patrick, can I ask one?
Go ahead, David. Sorry.
I don't want to draw conclusions for this, but it looks like you've decided to start Tony at the point guard, bring Terrence off the bench. Freshman point guard starting right off the bat. I didn't know if that would happen, but you've done it. Why did you do it? And was there any consideration or trepidation in your mind about doing that right smack off the bat?
Yeah, David, he went out and he earned it. We tried all 3 of them, and we tried different combinations. And we just felt like he had a good command of the offense. His turnovers are down. He really sees the floor. He makes everybody around him a little bit better. He's a lot longer than most people think. And I think he may still be grown. He's definitely up and above 6'4" now. And he's an excellent rebounder from his position. He's second in our team right now in rebounding, first in our team in assists. And for practices, his turnovers are way down. So that led me to believe that he was ready. I felt like him and Shep had a good connection out there. Not to say that Terrence didn't get every opportunity. He did. I just like Terrence off the bench because he has such a punch and a dog in him that, we really haven't had that type of dog coming off the bench where you're not going to lose anything. I mean, I've said this before. We have 7, 8 guys that could start. So it really came down to who works well together, who's playing well together, and that powerful pop off the bench where our bench has been outscoring our opponents. I know it's a scrimmage and an exhibition game, but our bench is thriving, and that's the way we want to keep it.
And am I correct to think, is it a high ankle sprain with Reeves, or what is it?
No, it's not a high ankle sprain, but right now we have to do some more tests to see exactly what it is. So I don't want to jump to conclusions, and I don't want to give you false information. So I don't want to do that. I should know more after the game Friday.
So we're going with the old lower leg.
How's that? This is a hockey. I've turned into a Flyers hockey here, or Penguins. Lower leg injury.
As long as I don't have to spell Liz Frank.
No, you're okay.
The rationale behind bringing Watkins off the bench, I'm not sure I've seen a low post scorer like that, but is that just another one of those things where the chemistry is right?
Yeah, Mark, you're exactly right. I mean, to what David is saying, it just, Mike coming off the bench, it gives us that pop. Him and Terrence play really well together, and that was very obvious to myself and the staff. So we wanted to keep those guys, as often as we could together on the floor. Again, it gives us that fight, that hunger, that toughness that we wanted off the bench. And it also keeps Mike out of an early foul. And Julian's been very consistent. He's in the right spots. He knows what he's doing. He cleans up a lot of things when our young guys are making mistakes. So you got a redshirt junior in the back there with 2 freshmen starting, who's kind of, the mother hen back there, just making sure he's watching these 2 guys and again, just cleaning up their mistakes.
I'm not sure how much you guys really watched the Lock Haven tape or not, but was there anything that you really took out of it now that you go back and watch that, or is it still just mostly, hey, it was just getting these guys a chance to play and it was getting over those jitters?
I thought we took a lot away from it. One is we got some good shots. We shared the basketball. We got to continue to share the basketball. 2, we defended everyone very well except for Hinton. He had an unbelievable night. That kid's really talented. Mike should be fired up about the future for him because he's so young. The pace of play I thought was where we wanted it. Rotations, different things on the defensive end that we need to clean up before we play a great team like Albany, who's really well coached, fundamentally sound. And I've coached against Will my 2 years at BU. I mean, he drills the heck out of his teams. And they're big and they're quick. So I felt like there was a lot we could take from that. And approach is always important to me. Mindset's always important to me. And then the final piece, what you were saying, is just get them in front of their family and friends.
How confident are you in Isaiah and Davis to step in there and maybe play a little bit more with Josh out?
Yeah, I feel really good about both guys. Davis is playing great, really pushing Lamar for that. With Peyton, when he was out, was really pushing Lamar for that starting spot. So I feel Davis is in a good place, really knows what we're doing. Offensively, has a good grasp. He was shooting the ball well. I know he didn't shoot it particularly well against Lock Haven, but I think Davis is going to be a great spark off the bench with his offense and his defense. Isaiah was playing really well against Lock Haven, and he proved the last year in the last 6 games that he earned himself some minutes, and you feel really good about him being out there. So with those 2 guys and 2 guys that can make shots, they've been making shots in practice. We just got to see them do it in a game now. So with Josh being out, those guys are going to play significant minutes, and I think they're ready for it.
Where do you think maybe they developed the most during the offseason?
I'll say their strength. I know Davis has put on some really good muscle. I think Isaiah has a better understanding of what we're doing on both ends of the floor. He's helping the other guys. He's helping the freshmen. He's talking to them about what they need to do and how the positions they need to be in and how to take care of the body. So he's doing some things with leadership. So those 2 guys are really stepping up, and they had a great offseason and a great fall.
Is there a learning curve to these guys playing in bursts, short minute increments, the way that they're as deep as you guys are?
We've worked on it for so long now. There definitely is going to be on Friday and Sunday and Tuesday. There's no doubt there's going to be some stretches there that we're not going to like, and they got to get used to playing as hard as they can for 3 or 4 minutes. But that's the beauty of the depth that we have, because everybody in practice knows they're still competing hard. They're still getting after each other because nothing is set in stone. I never said this is going to be the starting lineup for the rest of the season. No, everybody's got to continue to compete, earn their minutes, earn their 3 to 4 or 5 or 6 minutes, whatever that stretch is that they have, and make sure they don't lose their minutes because someone coming from behind and taking minutes, which could always happen. So it's been a lot of fun to coach this team. I'm enjoying it. So some days I have to pull them back which is great. Usually coaches come up with drills to make them, tougher, compete harder, get after it a little bit. With these guys, you don't have to. They really love to compete.
From the perspective of the players, though, not being in the stretch of game for 8 to 10 minutes at a time, is that going to take some getting used to?
I'm sure for maybe 8, 9, and 10, I think the top 7, I'll say 8, 7.5, will have a good flow, a good rhythm. But I also want to be very transparent with the guys and let them know when they're going in, so they're ready. And maybe they go with Greg Miskinnis and start to get stretched, or they go on a bike and they prepare themselves that way. So there's different things that we're going to do to make sure they're ready to compete as hard as they can.
So will you go with the same starting lineup outside of Josh and assuming plug Peyton in there? Is that how it's going to work?
I'm not sure yet. We're gonna see how they compete today. I'm gonna do some different lineups. I know the few guys that I like together, and there's some guys that really have earned to hear their name called. I think it's an honor and a privilege to hear your name called and see your name up on that big screen. So we'll see how things go today. I'm going to work on a lineup today, and then I'm going to work on a rotation and see if I like it. And then the second part of practice, I'm going to have a different lineup and a different rotation and see if I like it and see if there's cohesion. And if it looks good and I still get that punch that I want from off the bench, then that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to go with. But Josh, obviously being hurt, that does hurt everything that I've worked on over the last few weeks with the Seton Hall and now with Lockhaven. So that's all right. That's why your depth comes in, and it should really help us.
Are red shirts in play at all for anybody? Maybe Naz or
No, we definitely thought about it, and I just feel like everybody has a chance to play, and they're one injury away from being put in a game. And the pace that we're playing at, we're going to need everybody. We're going to need everybody on that bench.
If Reeves wasn't hurt, would he be starting? Would you use the same lineup that you used
Yes.
against Lockhaven?
Yes.
Through the scrimmage and the exhibition, how impressed have you been with the speed? Is it exceeding your expectations? Is it below, on par?
It's right where we need to be, but it's not as consistent as I would like it to be. Not that I want to be Loyola Marymount from back in the day for us older people here.
why'd you look at me?
Well, David's not here, and he probably hung up.
No, I'm here.
Okay, I didn't know if you fell asleep. So
No. When you said that, I woke up actually.
so we don't want to be we don't want to be like that, but we do want to play fast. And then
Are we
there's
going to have any peer steamer mentions?
No, we won't. But we need to play fast. But we need to play fast to slow in certain situations, especially if we didn't score for a couple possessions. Might need to slow it down and get a good one, or at least get ourselves to the free throw line. But the pace that we're going to play at is getting closer, but we have a little ways to go.
I know this is looking a week and a half ahead, but how are you going to use?
Why do you do that? Why do you do that to me? I'm going to tell you about Friday.
How are you going to use Friday and Grand Canyon and Duquesne as preparation for a team like Duke, where these guys aren't going to have the same players, especially with height, as it turns, and front court depth that these teams are going to have that you're going to play, and maybe you don't have that same kind of front court depth as well.
It's funny. You guys always ask me about that game, and I haven't really given it much thought. I really haven't. I'm concerned with Albany because I coached against Will Brown, and I know what a great coach he is. And I've coached against Jim Ferry. They got us pretty good last year. So my focus is on getting this team better, finding good cohesion and good chemistry, and then getting ready for a really fundamentally sound, disciplined Albany team. That's really my concern. And when we get to Mohegan Sun, I'll worry about Mohegan Sun then.